Good morning, YouTube land. It's Debbie from the Canadian Crocheter. Thought I'd take a couple of moments to do this little video before I get my day started. It's going to be a busy week, and last week was really busy as well. We're getting ready for my mom to move in. We're painting. Well, actually, my husband's painting. He calls me a klutz and kicked me out of the room. Yup. So he's been painting. I've been doing other things, getting ready. And on top of that, I gotta tell you this story. I don't even know what to say. My son went to school. He goes to college here. Drove to school, parked his car, was at school for 2 hours, came back, started his car, and it sounded like an airplane engine. So he called his dad, they called the tow truck, took it into a shop. Turns out someone crawled in under his car and sawed off the catalytic converter. And we're like, what? Like in broad daylight. So a little Google search, turns out it's a thing. They will crawl under your car, cut off parts that they need, and I guess the catalytic converter is a very expensive part because the bill is huge. Thank God for insurance because it's expensive. I mean, it's half the price of the car, for crying out loud. But anyway, we've been dealing with that, and it's been, it's crazy, but it's the world we live in, I guess. Anyway, quick little update on what I've been up to. There is one project that I finished that I started in August, but I can't show you. I'm so proud of this one, but I can't show you because it is a surprise and it's a gift, and I wouldn't want to ruin it. So finally finished that. Needless to say, it was a Grafgan, so I'm not that great at those, but I'm very proud of this one. Anyway, the other thing that I made was this couch cozy. Basically, it's a raglan sleeve cardigan, but essentially it's a blanket with sleeves. And I call it a couch cozy because it's not very practical. The raglan sleeves don't make it very practical for you to, sorry, I have a hair here. It doesn't make it practical for you to go out in. It's basically just for lounging on the couch, but it gives you the warmth, but it gives you the flexibility of doing things. Now, this was made for my sister-in-law. She came in the summer. She lives on the other side of the country, and she came to visit me in the summertime, and she saw one that I made for someone else, and she wanted one. So I made her one. So it's a little small on me because she's tiny. So I made it smaller, but unfortunately I can't send this one to her, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I decided to do homespun, hold 2 strands together of homespun and brunette velvet. And the homespun, the colorway is barley, and the brunette velvet, what is the colorway? Taupe coffee. And I can't send it to her because, and I will show you. So I don't know if it was me not paying attention or what. It's gotta be me. I can't explain. After I finish the whole thing, this is what's happening. Hold on, let me show you. The velvet is coming out of its loops. Like look. So I find it hard, look, like it's everywhere. I find it hard to believe that I would have, so when you're holding 2 strands, maybe I just got the homespun and not the velvet, but I mean, even I couldn't have missed all of these. Like, they're just coming out. The loops are just coming out. See? They're just popping out. I don't understand. Look they're everywhere. It's like, I don't understand. And I did not notice it until I finished it. And my husband actually noticed that when I put it on. He goes, why are those loops so much bigger than the other ones? And I don't know. This is, and they're just easily pulled out. Like, I don't understand. Look how many there are. Even I couldn't have made that many skip stitches. So I am at a loss. I am at a loss, but I will use it because it's super heavy and I love to be cozy. So I will use it, even though it's a little small on me because it was made for her. But now I had to go, I had some errands to run yesterday and I treated myself because I'm such a good errand runner. A trip to Michael's, and I noticed this Hygge from Red Heart, and oh my goodness, this stuff is super soft. It is, you get 132 yards, 5 ounces. The color is rust. And what is the construction? 70% acrylic, 30% nylon. I think that I'm just going to give up with the 2-strand system and just do a whole couch cozy out of this. Her colors are definitely fall colors: rust, red, orange. So I think this will work. So it's not gonna, I know it seems like a lot of work, but it really only took me about a week of evening work to get it done because it is so mindless. It really is very easy. I learned how to make these from the website or the YouTube channel escapes me, but I remember her name's Jess. Oh, I'll put the link. After I do this, I'll put the link down where I learned. I did her version first, and then I learned, I guess she taught you the idea, the method used, and then I just play with stitches and create, I use the same recipe, but using different stitches, so play with it. So I will do another one for that. That'll probably take me a week or so. So that. And then, so as you all know, I made a lot of cowls. Now in the winter, I like this area. I am a very big turtleneck wearer. I have some gland issues, so I want to keep my glands very warm. And don't get me wrong, I love cowls and all that, but I usually have something, I usually wear a scarf or something around my neck. And 2 winters ago, I was at the doctor's office and I noticed this woman, this elderly woman, like she must have been in her 80s. She takes off her coat and there's this little piece of crochet work right around her neck, and then she just unbuttons it, puts it in her purse. I was like, oh my God, I want one. And I asked her, I said, did you make that? She goes, oh no, my mom made it. I was like, what? My thought was, how old is your mom? But then she proceeded to tell me it was 40 years ago that her mom made this. She crocheted it. It looked amazing. So I went on the hunt to Ravelry, but the only word that I could think of was cowl. So for the last, 2 years or whatever, I've been looking for cowls, but they're all, lower. And then the other day I thought, what about searching neck warmer? And bingo, that came up with some different patterns. Now I've printed off about 4 or 5 patterns that I'm gonna try, but I've got 2 down. One of them I like more than the other. Okay, let's talk about the one that I don't like as much. So this one is a Boston Winters Crochet Cowl. And it is a paid for pattern, but it's a nominal fee. It is by Eva Alley and Karen O'Grady. Now, the concept is great. I loved it. And it's easy to make. The only thing is I didn't think was there's no opening. It's seamed up. So you have to pull it over your head. And I was like, well, who wants their hair messed up like that? If you're going out, you're going to look, your hair's going to be done, not like now. So I'll show you what I got. Oh, and by the way, what I was using was Peyton's Beehive Baby Chunky in the bigger beige, and which doesn't look like beige at all. And yeah, made in Canada. Anyway, so what I did was I did not seam it. This is what it looks like. I made the short version, but the pattern comes with a short and a long version. So basically it's just a big turtleneck with a flared out section, and the edge does call for a picot edge. Still debating whether I want to do the picot edge or not, because it's gonna go under your coat. But I did not seam it. So basically I just added a button, and basically you just put it on. I know you guys are gonna laugh. But I think this is an ingenious idea for somebody like me who needs their neck really, really warm. So I think it's an ingenious idea. So I like that. but I don't like it I would not like it if it was seamed, because you'd have to take it over your head. There is a knitted version as well, so if you're a knitter, you might like that. So I got that done. Now, the second one is much more in line to what I was looking for, but not quite yet. I haven't found it yet. So this one, the yarn that I use is Fentex Chunky, and the colorway is navy. Now this pattern is also a paid for pattern. It's called Laura's Cowl by Blue Daisy Creations. So let me show you that. And this one does have a button that opens and closes, and it's much more along similar to what I saw. Now you can put the button in the side or the back or wherever. I prefer the back. I need to make this a little longer for my taste, because it is a little short, and my glands are up here, so it kind of defeats the purpose. And there is supposed to be one more row here, but I couldn't figure it out. Maybe because I'm a novice or what, or maybe the pattern just wasn't written well. I just couldn't figure out the last row. So this is what it is. It hasn't been blocked or anything, but it's a wearable. I'm not going to block it. So I will definitely make this again, but make it a little higher here. And I don't know if you guys think I'm crazy or not, but I think it's a wonderful idea for someone like me who needs their neck very, very cozy. So that's what I've been up to. Yeah, I'm going to be busy for the next week or so too. But what I did do, yesterday I was in the kitchen making dinner, and I made a little video. Now, a while ago I watched Margaret Olander from Sheepishly Sharing do a video about cheater cooks. And I definitely consider myself a cheater cook. I like cutting corners and making things quicker and easier. And I thought I'd do a little video of something that blew my mind last year when I found out about it. Well, I talk about it in the video. Anyway, I did a little clip. I will put it right after this. So it's not yarny related at all. It's kitchen related. So it's basically like a recipe. But if you're not interested, you can absolutely mosey on, and you don't have to watch it. But I thought I'd insert it, and if you like it, great. This also got me, I mentioned in the video that this is actually because Claudia from Crochet Luna was on my mind. And yeah, so I guess a little while ago she has made some dietary changes, like she's gone vegan to help with her rheumatoid arthritis. I believe it's helping. So Claudia, if you're watching, you probably know already about this, but if you don't, give this a try. It's just a vegan recipe. I'm not vegan. My family's definitely not vegan. They actually call themselves meatitarians. But I served this for dessert yesterday, and both boys and father loved it. So anyway, like I said, give it a watch. If you like it, I hope you could use the idea. If not, so be it. Anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and we will talk soon. Okay, so today I'm going to show you what I call a mind-blowing tip. Whenever I find an idea or way of doing things that just, you know, makes me think differently, I call it mind-blowing. Anyway, today it's going to be a tip or a little recipe that it's not involving yarn or crochet or anything like that. So that's why you're in my kitchen. Excuse the mess, but you know, it's always like this. And don't mind the brown bananas over there. They're gonna be for banana bread. But anyway, let's move on. About a year ago, maybe a few years ago, more and more of my family members started turning vegan. And I worry about what am I going to serve them when they visit. So I've started educating myself on what I could serve vegans. Okay, so last year I was hosting an aunt and uncle up at the cottage, and I did really well with the meal, but I didn't know what to do for dessert. I'm not a baker. I don't bake a lot. I bake my standard, you know, banana bread, chocolate chip cookies, stuff like that. So I didn't know what, and I wasn't familiar with vegan baking. So I did a little research and I came across something that is a whipped cream substitute for vegans using the juice from chickpeas, and it's actually called Aquafaba. Don't listen to the people that say Aquafaba. It's not, it's Aquafaba. So anyway, you get yourself a can of chickpeas and you just strain it out. Okay, let's see here. You will get some cans, you'll see that it's the juice. I'm gonna try to show you. You just strain it. The juice in some cans is runnier, in other cans it actually, not to sound disgusting, it kind of looks like it's not. But anyway, you just strain it out. We'll finish that later, but anyway, let's put that in the sink for now. Now I will be making roasted chickpeas. I love chickpeas. And then you end up with something that looks like, something that looks like that. Sorry, I just spilled some. Anyway, you take it. Now I happen to have a stand mixer, but I have done this with a handheld up at the cottage. It just takes a lot longer. So you basically pour it in there. Now, other people, there are people who do this on the internet, and they'll tell you things like you got to keep the bowl cold. No, you don't. They'll tell you, you know, you have to whip it to a certain stage before you add your sweeteners. No, you don't. I just put everything in there at the beginning and then let it run. Now, I also, researching vegan food, I didn't know that a lot of sugar is filtered through animal bones. Didn't know that. So you have to actually, if you want it to be true vegan, you have to actually do your research and find out where your sugar, or how is your sugar filtered. And Red Path here, which is in Toronto, they do not use animal bones. It is vegan friendly, so we're gonna use that. Now you can make it as sweet as you can imagine. That the Aquafaba is savory. It's chickpeas after all. So you can make it as sweet as you like. I like to use anywhere from 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I like it a little sweeter. But you can play with the flavors, see how sweet you like it. I also usually add a teaspoon of vanilla, but I am out. I am out of vanilla, so we're just gonna do plain old. So you add your sugar. Now I'm going to turn it on, and then I'll turn the camera off because it's gonna be loud. So I turn it on. Okay, after some technical difficulties, I realized that the mixer wasn't plugged in. Plugged it in, figured it out, and 4 minutes of whipping has elapsed. Now you can do this with a hand mixer. It will take you, I'm not kidding, about 15 to 20 minutes. Excuse me, I have done it at the cottage. So just be forewarned. But the reason that I'm showing you all this is I am a lifelong cholesterol battler. It runs in my family. So I'm always looking for ways to cut my cholesterol intake. And like, for example, this particular can is no salt added. Actually, there's 0 milligrams of salt, 0 milligrams of cholesterol. So, and that's for the whole can. And the way I calculate it is much lower in calories too than obviously whipped cream. So now there is no direct amount to tell you how many calories this is, but this is the way I calculate it. So this one can is about 400 calories for everything, the Aquafaba and the chickpeas. So I think I Googled it, and they say somewhere between 3 and 5 calories per tablespoon. So, okay, 3 or 5 calories. And then I did put in 1/2 cup of sugar. Sometimes I will go down to 1/4 cup. 1/2 cup of sugar is probably about 400 calories. but that's for the whole bowl. So I'm only gonna take a tablespoon. So I figure this is probably, I mean, and I'm guessing, but probably 10 to 15 calorie dessert, not including the fruit, obviously. Okay, so this is what you will get. I'm not kidding you, it starts off yellow and ugly looking, and this is what you get. The more you whip it, the more peaks will form. Or sorry, the longer you whip it. So basically, this is my dessert tonight. Strawberries. Actually, this is a teaspoon of, we'll make it 2 teaspoons. Usually it's a tablespoon. Anyway, and it's delicious. And if you're a non-vegan, or even if you're vegan and you have cookies, great cookies. Anyway, excuse me. I just thought I would introduce this to everyone because I'm sure there's lots of people out there who, you know, struggle with either weight. Trust me, you get, you know, you can control the sugar, but even if, you know, I don't think half a cup of sugar is that much in this whole bowl. You get a lot. This is probably good for, I don't know, 8 of these little bowls. Or maybe more, I don't know. You get your sweet tooth cravings, you know, it's taken care of. It's delicious, and it is completely vegan. So I hope you enjoyed this little thing, and I'm sorry about the video quality. I am so new to this. I am not a chef. I do not, you know, not equipped to take videos of tutorials and all that, but I thought I'd share this with you because to me, this is a mind-blowing thing. Anyway, enjoy, and if you have chickpeas or if you like chickpeas, oh, and you don't have to use chickpeas too, by the way. You can use white kidney beans or cannellini beans, which are white kidney beans. You can use the juice from that too. I did try red kidney beans, and it comes out to the same, but there's like little red specks in it, and it kind of turned pinky, not very appealing looking, so pinky brown color. Don't use it. But anyway, I also, part of me wanted to do this, and I know this is gonna sound silly, but for Claudia, because I recently, quite a few months ago, she went vegan for health reasons, and she probably knows this already, but in case you don't, Claudia, this is what you get. Give it a try. Easy, easy, easy. Anyway, have a great day, and we'll talk soon.